Welcome to episode 78 of the Mile 20 podcast where epic shit happens. My name is Lori and I'm here with my bestie,
Laura.
who's the delay fish this week.
No. Sorry, duder.
No worries. No
I think I
worries.
just hit something on my screen and it just like delayed my response.
That's okay. It happens. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, welcome. We are here today and we are going to be talking about our experience with the Garmin Olathe Marathon. This was back in April. We ran it April 23rd of 2022. So this is still part of our 50 stage journey and we're looking back on it. So we will
Dude,
start with that.
that was over
What?
4 years ago. It was over 4 years ago.
I know.
Isn't that fucking
That's
crazy?
insane. It is crazy. I was wearing my Hawaii shirt, which is where we finished our 50 state journey, and it was like 2023. And I'm like, shit, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Where the hell is this gone? And we only
Yeah.
took a year off. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
feel like we've done any marathons since then, but apparently
Yeah.
we have. I don't
Well,
know.
and that's why we're running more marathons right now. So,
Yeah,
you know.
you know.
Yeah, Olathe will be an interesting race to talk about.
Yes.
I would say it had its high points and its low points, and its windy
Yeah.
points.
Yes, for sure.
Yes,
100%.
yes.
But before we dive in, um, what have you been up to?
House shit. Actually, yeah, house shit. I actually, so for our avid listeners, who have heard me like kind of like complain about, surviving a kitchen remodel. I actually got all of my boxes emptied and they are
Whoop,
in my
whoop.
kitchen now. And I know I told you right before we started the podcast, I actually cooked like my first meal in the kitchen. Wasn't anything
What you cook?
fancy.
No?
Chicken and broccoli.
There you go. It
Like,
works.
I like kind of ran out of time. Jim came home and I was like, all right, dude, I got a podcast at 7:30 tonight. So that's what was in the repertoire. And he wasn't super hungry and neither was I. So yep. I figured out how to go and turn the burner on the new stove. And I was really happy. Although I don't know about you, but like because I know you went through a massive kitchen remodel in 2020. But you
Yeah,
weren't in your house, like you were in your house like 6 years before you went through that remodel, right? Because you guys moved in 2014. Did you have an
correct.
issue with like going to like the old spots in your kitchen where like your
Yes.
silverware drawer was and you're like, oh, I don't have silverware there anymore. There's a fucking microwave there now.
Well, some of our stuff was kind of similar, but yes, there was definitely an issue at times
Oh,
trying to
oh,
figure out where things are. And again, like I'm pretty sure it's been 6 years and Dave still doesn't know where shit is in our
oh my
kitchen.
God.
So
Well,
there's that.
I'm retraining my brain right now and it hurts.
You know,
So
it's probably good for your brain though.
it is. So I definitely have just been doing that. Like today I went and, with all the trim that's around the windows and the door, I had to, spackle the holes and caulk. So for those of you who don't know, I am a project girl.
Lots of projects.
Have drill will travel. So yeah, so I went and spackled all the holes in the nail holes and did the caulk and so forth. So I'm just waiting for that to cure. I'll do a little bit of a sand job tonight before. I said sand job, not hand job. I'll do a sand
Yes.
job tonight
Don't
before I
get
go to
don't get
sleep.
Jim excited.
And then tomorrow
All he heard was
I'll paint.
and job and he's going,
It's
"What?
like, and
What
job.
you
He's like,
say?
what, honey? You want
What?"
some more wine? Yeah, yeah. But no, this past weekend though was nice. Went down. So my father-in-law was still in town, and went down to our place in Maryland and just hung. We hung with my father-in-law and just absolutely love him to death. And he's just such a nice and kind man. And we had more crabs. I think Jim, like this season on the Chesapeake has been like the height of the last 3 years that we have been in this house for crabs. Lori, 17 crabs Jim
Ooh,
had the other night.
wow.
And then he was like, Laura, I can't put the traps in the water anymore because we can't eat crabs again tomorrow night. Like
Right.
that's how many crabs like he's been catching. And we put or I say he puts um the necks of chickens. He buys them at a bait shop. You know what the name of the bait shop is?
What is
Masturbators.
it? Yeah, we have one of those in Bonita Beach in Florida. The kids all have a place down there called Master Bait and Tackle. Nobody beats our bait is their tagline.
Oh my God. Well, this is Masturbators. And my father-in-law was so tickled
Nice.
with like the name of it. He's like, I bought a short sleeve shirt and a long sleeve shirt. So, so, so on Saturday, we went down to my daughter Maddie's in-laws house. They have a place down in Graysonville, Maryland. So again, like, on the Chesapeake, I think they're on the Greenwood Creek. And so they just had a beautiful pool remodel. And so I
Good for
woke up,
them.
I did my 12 miler on Saturday
Whoop,
morning.
whoop.
And then I took a shower. I rushed out to the grocery store. And within 35 minutes, I made a street corn pasta salad. I made a Boursin cheese with huckleberry jelly. You would have fucking loved that. With
Ooh, I just brought some
pistachios.
huckleberry jelly home. Send
Oh,
me that
girl.
recipe.
With like, so it had salty pistachios and hot honey drizzled on top. And
Yeah.
with gluten-free crostinis.
Talk dirty to
Um,
me.
oh my God. And then what else did I make? Oh, and then I made a Buckeye brownies. So brownies with
Ooh,
peanut butter and then a melted chocolate
yeah.
on top. Did that all in 35 minutes, girl. I'm a freaking rock star. So
You are.
we go
I
down.
always say you can accomplish more shit in a half hour than anybody I know,
Oh my
period.
God.
Hands
Like
down.
like like
Nobody.
Jim and Ron, my father-in-law, like I came in hot and I announced coming in hot, like get the F out of my kitchen. And my father-in-law's like, run, 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 run. And I took a shower all within like 40 minutes. So we went down to Rhonda and Harry's house, Maddie's in-laws, and just had a wonderful day. We probably got there around 2:30, probably left around like 9. And just absolutely wonderful day. We floated around the pool. We were just drinking, floating. We had dinner, so it was super nice. What I especially liked was that uh Matthew's nephew, so my son-in-law's nephew, Jonah, he's the oldest. I think he's 8. He was looking forward to my nephew Will coming down, but they're on vacation.
Aw.
So, but he wanted to go fishing. And then when he found out that Jim was the fisherman in the family, he kept asking everybody, when's Jim coming? When's Jim coming? When is Jim coming down? So it was cute. They went fishing and what do you call it? Matthew's brother Eric drove the boat and took them actually out on the boat, and they did a little bit of fishing on the boat. So that was super nice. I don't know. It was just like a really unexpected, nice, chill kind of day. And then Sunday it rained here. So
Yeah.
my father-in-law and Jim, after spending a week plus in the house, they left. The house was not in bad shape for two dudes, like spending the whole week in the house. But then I did sheets and laundry and all that shit. So that way, next weekend when I go back down there, like everything's like, it's like, oh, it feels like a
Fresh.
hotel, and the maids have already come and done their work.
Yes. Yay! It's amazing how that
It's
happens.
amazing. It's amazing. It's fantastical. So
Yes.
what have you been up to, my friend? Because I mean, I know we've had like one touch point like the whole week. We got to run like what, like 3 miles with each other on Monday.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
awesome, by the way. I needed that.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously we're not together again if you're joining us on YouTube. My family has been renting a house in the Poconos for years, like decades,
Years,
actually.
years,
Decades.
years, years.
Multiple decades. And so this happens to be the 2 weeks that we have it. So I came up on Sunday, but last week was my dad's 78th birthday. Happy birthday, Jeepa.
And my dad's
And we
birthday
got to,
is next week. I didn't, is your dad a Leo?
I don't know, he's the 12th. Does that change? I have
I
no
don't
idea
know.
what he is.
I don't know, but we need to
Aries?
look at that because that would be interesting if both of our dads were like the same. I'm going to look that up while you're talking. Keep going.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So we went out to McGurk's for dinner one night, and that was fun for his birthday. Then it was really cool on Saturday. Anybody who knows my husband heard him bitching and moaning the month of May. He and Mari, my son's girlfriend, got into an I don't know debate about something, and somehow a bet arose where if Dave went vegetarian for the month of May, she didn't think he could do it. He said he could, and then if he could do it and he won, then they would come and make us, or she would come and make us dinner. So that bet got cashed in on Saturday, and she was
That's
so
good
cute
cash
about
in.
it.
That's a good cash
Yes.
in.
She sent us out a really cute survey, rating the things that we want. Like, do you want beef, salmon, pork, chicken, vegetarian? Which, of course, he was not going to choose vegetarian. And she came up with a menu and printed it out and
I
everything.
saw
So,
like
like, and we had
you had sent a
courses.
picture of the menu and I was like, "Oh, snap. Like I think I want to go
Yeah.
vegetarian for a month and have Maury come and cook for me or Maury and DJ."
Yeah, they were so cute. They're like working around the kitchen and they're like, yes, chef," to each other the whole time. And I'm like, you guys are just adorable. But we had like an arugula salad with lemon dressing and shaved honey crisp apple and walnuts on top. And then our second was a rigatoni pasta with a creamy tomato sauce and pork. Our main was like a pan roasted salmon over on pesto pasta with blistered, yummy grape tomatoes on top. I mean, they outdid themselves and it was
Yeah.
so fun. And Dave went down, and because we were having Italian, he got like two of our good bottles that we brought home from Italy. So, like a
Oh,
Brunello
nice. Nice.
and a Montepulciano wine, and they were like so good. Like we just had a great time drinking wine. They made us dinner. They cleaned up the dinner. It was a really lovely evening with them.
I
And
love that.
then yeah, and then Sunday we came. Oh, before I digress, before I left on Sunday to come up to the Poconos, I was desperate. I needed help motivating because I wanted to do 12 miles this weekend too, but I was struggling.
I know you were like, I'm gonna do my
Trying.
12 on Saturday. And when I like looked at the weather on Saturday versus Sunday, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do Sunday because Sunday was like real feel was about 15 degrees cooler than Saturday. So then I felt guilty because
Yeah,
I thought you would run on Saturday and I'm like, ah, I gotta run on Sunday. I have to run. I have to do this.
yeah.
So
Well, I wound up reaching out to Maggie. I'm like, "Hey, are you running this weekend?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm doing 7 with Allie." And I'm like, "Can I tag along?" So they wound up wanting to start later. So I started earlier, and I was able to get about 3, 4 miles before, and then I
oh
ran
good.
6 with them, and then I did a little bit at the end. So it turned out nice because I don't normally run on the Schuylkill River Trail, which is near us. So it was kind of neat to be in different scenery as opposed to, the Chester Valley Trail or
Same old,
Chester
yeah.
Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. I had a great run with Maggie. And then I headed up here, and it's just been lovely. Like, we had a spectacular sunset last night from the dock because of the storms that came through
Oh,
and the
your
sunset.
sunset was like the bomb last night.
Yes.
So your sunset and then my sister Megan is they're out. I don't know if I told you this, but they went out to Lake Tahoe. for a
Oh,
vacation,
lovely.
like Tahoe as well as Yosemite. And the pictures that she sent from their sunset, they did a sunset boat cruise like on
Yeah,
Tahoe. Dude, I was like, oh, like I haven't been to Tahoe, and like, and
I haven't either.
Tahoe to me is like, it's got like, some positives, but it's also got like this kind of reputation for it as well. So it's not been a place that I have pursued, but the pictures that my sister has sent have been absolutely spectacular, and they seem to be having a really, really good time. So, but your sunset like was phenomenal last night as well. Because I know like I was picking
Yes.
up my Jeep last night and I was like, dude, I'm freaking driving home and the sky is like black in front of me. Like it was black, Lori. It was black. It was
Yeah,
black.
I believe it. Yeah,
So,
but it was really cool because there was a weird dark blue stripe that went through the sky. And I think it's like a crepuscular or something like that. It's actually the shadow of a cloud that's closer that casts a shadow of the sunset. So I have this wild picture of like this beautiful orange sunset, but then there's this
like a
weird
line,
line that goes
line,
straight through
line.
it. And then it was reflected in the lake, which made it even cooler. Anyway, it was really a very cool sunset last night. And then today, mostly we just went tubing down the Toby Hanna. And so that was just lovely. I love
Oh,
tubing down a river. So it's
I love
pretty.
tubing down a river.
Yes, and my brother Rich has been making homemade margaritas. So my mile 20 beverage of the week, which I hope to post, Maggie can get the recipe I'm asking him for. But it's lovely because it's like homemade. It's not with any kind of mix. So it's like real lime juice and it's delicious. They're so
Nice,
good. They're a
nice.
little potent, but they're really good.
Well, a potent margarita is a good margarita. You know what though? I really enjoy a spicy margarita. Like I gravitate towards spicy now. Like anytime I get a
Yeah.
margarita, it's like make it spicy, make it spicy. So
I
I have
like
a
it
mile
spicy.
20, I have a mile 20 as well. And
Woohoo.
I'm going with my tried and true. I have just a glass of La Crema Pinot Noir.
Very
La
nice.
Crema is out of Sonoma, and it is one of my favorite wineries. It is one that I belong to from a wine club. I'm not getting paid to go and endorse them, but
No.
when in doubt, like if I have La Crema, like it's good. So
Yes.
yeah. And like I've been able to go to their tasting room a
Girlfriend doesn't drink
couple of
shit
times.
wine, that's for damn sure.
I don't. Well, it's like, dude, if you're gonna eat or eat, if you're gonna drink the fucking calories, they better be freaking good calories. Like,
Yeah, it's got to be worth
like,
it.
like, right? Like
Yes,
seriously,
I
seriously.
agree.
So yeah, I decided to drink wine tonight. And I'm gonna give this gal Amy that I work with a shout out. So Amy works with me at my work, and she's officially going out on parental leave on Friday. And I was like, I don't know, like I was doing some stuff after work today in the kitchen. I was doing some sanding and I felt like really melancholy because like I absolutely love like working with her on a day to day. And I know we're going to talk to each other like after she's going to have her second baby. But I'm going to miss her, and
Yeah.
I was kind of feeling melancholy. I was like, I'm gonna have a glass of wine.
Aw. Well,
So I'm
Godspeed, Amy. I hope everything comes out swift and easy.
literally.
Literally. Yes.
And I think she's kind of done right now. Like they're saying right now, the beginning of August, no, the beginning of September, beginning of August, beginning of September, is when she's going to have her C-section, planned. But she's like, I'd be good if the baby came right now. Like,
Yeah.
like if she decided to arrive like right now, like I'd be good with that.
There you go.
So yeah, but I'm gonna miss her. Like you just have those people in your life that, they make this just absolutely incredible mark on you. And anytime you interact with them, they just make you happy. Like when you and I interact with each other, we could be in shitty moods and
Yeah.
we're like, oh, like that's
Yeah.
Amy's my work person for that. And so
Yeah.
Amy, cheers to you.
Cheers,
Godspeed,
Amy.
with cheers, Amy, to your second Sienna. They already have the little girl named, and I can't wait to go and meet her. I did tell her, I was like, I think I announced it on our team call the other day. I was like, Amy, I'll come over. I need grandma practice skills.
Yeah, there you go.
And she's like,
Hell
you
yeah.
come over anytime you want. I'll sleep and you take care of my baby. I was like,
There you go.
spoken like a true mom of two kids, right?
Yes, for sure.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get into the Olathe.
Nope.
Olathe. No. Oh
Pause.
no, wait, nope,
Nope.
nope, nope,
We have
nope,
running news.
nope. Running
Yes.
news. Running news.
Running news.
Running
Yes.
news.
So this is interesting. I
What's
guess so
interesting?
many this is what I'm about to say.
What?
Hold the phone. No.
Do do do
New
do do
York.
do do do. I sound like Dave.
Yes. So many people are getting into the New York City Marathon using the New York Roadrunners 9+1 program. For those of you who may not know what this is, if you're in the greater New York area, and even some people in the Philadelphia area will join this, if you are a New York Roadrunners member and you run 9 of their races, I believe. I'm not gonna, this may be a little faulty, so please forgive me. But I think it's if you sign up for 9 of their shorter races, because they have a plethora of races, 10Ks, 5Ks, half marathons that happen throughout the year. If you run them, and I think if you volunteer at one, so you have to run 9, volunteer at one. And then if you do all of that, you get guaranteed entry into New York City. This was the truth of the matter up until this year, and they've decided to change the rules because I think they may have had like almost 20,000 people that qualified. And it's just too big of a percentage to automatically guarantee entry for that. So now you have 15,000 spots that can qualify for the 9+1 program with New York Roadrunners for the 2027 qualifying year, but it's for the 2028 New York City Marathon. If you qualify, you are now entered into a smaller, but it's a lottery system. You are not no longer guaranteed entry. So that is a huge thing. I
That's a
think they
huge thing
had
because
two.
that's why people
Yeah.
do that, right? And
Yep.
you're absolutely right. Complete 9 races, volunteer at one, and maintain your New York Roadrunner membership.
Yes. And I think not only was it affecting how many people, taking bibs away from the general lottery, I think it was also that all these people who want to run the marathon were inundating these local races that were selling out. And people who just want to go out there and run a 5K couldn't really sign up for these races because they were running out of spots and things. So I think they're kind of hoping that this new system will temper that a little bit. We'll see. I don't know, but
I don't
hopefully it
know.
works
I
for
like
them. But
I would be disappointed if I was doing that and it was like a guaranteed thing and then all of a sudden it
yes,
turns into a oh now you're in another lottery. So I would say, Lori, it makes me really, really happy that both you and I have run the New York City Marathon and we've gotten that one
yep,
check. Would I love
yep.
to run that one again? Absolutely.
I
But
would never turn that down.
yeah, I would never turn that
Yeah,
down either, but wow, it's just like these races are getting harder and harder as we've talked about,
yeah,
the past, couple of episodes. It's just they're getting very, very competitive to get into. So
they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
And then
Um,
the other
yeah.
item that was up was Chicago. Do you want to tell them about Chicago?
No, no, you tell them about Chicago because I want to tell them about our other news.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You definitely got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So, Chicago has announced their very competitive roster for the 2026 showing of their marathon. The former women's champion, Bridget Kasoji, and then the men's just recent world record holder, Jacob Caplimo are all going to be there kicking off that weekend of the Chicago Marathon. So that should be a really fun watch to see how they both perform because it's another really super fast flat. So maybe we'll get another world record. I don't know. That could be cool.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It'd be really interesting, especially in Chicago, but Chicago's fickle,
Yes.
right? Because like the weather is very, it's iffy, right?
It
In
can be
Chicago.
hot. Yeah, it can
It
get
can be
hot
hot.
sometimes.
Yeah. As per, many, many episodes ago where we talked about how like we were just like melting, into the pavement in Chicago. So the one thing that we have to announce as far as additional news is that Lori and I were one of several or two of several runners that were featured in a Wall Street Journal article by an author called her name is Elise Gonclaves. And the article is called Wine, Cheese, and 26.2 Miles. What could go wrong? Question mark. And this journalist was actually writing an article about the Marathon du Médoc and the one that we ran in France last summer. And it was funny because, we ended up going and getting interviewed like right after we ran the ET Full Moon Marathon. So we had like maybe like 2+ hours of sleep in us.
Yes,
And
we were a little dreamy.
we were a little dreamy and so it's kind of like free flowing conversation, just about how we had done a couple of races where we had packed some wine in preparation for the
Yes.
race and so forth. And the things that we got quoted on is like that we not only drank wine in other races to prep for this, but in front of like Philadelphia cops, but that they peed in vineyards and like those were our quotes. And I was like, oh my God, these are our claims to fame. It's like, like
Yes.
people peed in vineyards and people were okay with it. And we drank wine on a course and the cops were okay with it. So, yep.
Yes. I
Yep.
drink wine, I pee in vineyard. It happens.
Yep. I drink, I pee, I know things.
Yes, exactly. Precisely.
So if you have a chance, it's actually for those of you who follow us on Instagram, the article link is actually out on our Instagram site. Maggie went and posted that I think today, and yesterday or
In our
yesterday.
bio.
Yep. So
Yeah.
so definitely go and check it out. But yeah, we came in hot with the Wall Street Journal, baby.
Hell yeah. And it's exactly why that's exactly the type of substance that I would want to provide to the Wall Street Journal.
I know.
That professional news organization.
My father-in-law was talking to me about it. He's like, "So you're famous?" And I was like, I was like, not what I thought I would be in the Wall Street Journal about, like, earlier on in my career, but I'm pretty glad, like I'm almost close to retiring."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but you know what though? I think you and I just really captured just how much fun we had. And that's really what it's
I
about,
agree.
you know. So,
Yeah, we
and
had not only did we have fun running that race, but we had fun training for that race as well.
We did, and I actually read all of the comments, post the article being posted digitally, and
Yeah.
comments that people had. I was like dying laughing with some of them. I was like, we are amongst our people, like the
Yeah.
people that are like, like about like drinking and running. I'm like, oh, those are the anomalies, like we seem to be like
Yeah.
amongst our people. So anyway,
Well, I
th
saw one comment that was like, I don't know why you had to pee in the vineyard. There was a porta john every mile and a half. I'm like, boy, I did not see a porta john anywhere. Okay.
Lori, I am with you. I ran 26.2 miles and I don't remember seeing a single porta john. There could have been porta johns. Could have
There could
totally
have
been
been.
porta johns, but all I saw were people peeing in the vineyards. Like
I saw men
that's
peeing in the vineyards, and I'm like, it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, I just feel fortunate that we didn't have to do that very, very often. Because like
No.
if we had a race like we had at ET
Ooh,
at Bordeaux, ooh,
oh, that would have been bad. That'd
that
have
would have
been
been
so bad.
So bad. So bad.
So bad.
So bad. So
On
you want
that
to talk about
note,
something about so bad? You want to talk about the Olathe Marathon in 2022?
yeah, this was something.
This was
It was something.
something. It's
So
first wait before we get into anything. This
yes,
race is sponsored by at the time, and I don't know if they still are. I think they
Garmin.
are.
No, it's still
Garmin,
Garmin. It's still Garmin.
Garmin,
Yes.
Garmin, Garmin. Like
Garmin
so you
Olathe
think
Marathon.
yes, so think about Garmin when you think about your watch, about like accuracy
Mhm.
of tracking and so forth. Just hold
Preach.
on to that. Hold on to that thought, folks. Preach that. Preach that. All right. How
Hell
to
yes.
throw that in there
Matter of
first.
fact,
Okay.
I am not going to say, you will not hear me say the Olathe Marathon. This was the Garmin Olathe Marathon. It's very important.
Very
Yeah.
important.
So, like, why would so it don't we can't get confused here. I know this neck of the woods can be confusing. Is it Kansas? Is it Missouri? Is it Kansas? Is it Missouri? We did run Kansas City. That was Missouri.
Yep.
Now we're running
Missouri,
Kansas.
Missouri, Missouri,
Missouri, sorry.
Missouri.
But we did fly through Kansas City to get to Olathe, Kansas. The reason why you would want to run this is because it does kind of have a cool theme, with Kansas. It
Land
is
of the Oz.
considered
Land of Oz. Land of
land.
Oz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything is very Wizard of Oz themed because it is
Very
Kansas.
Wizard of Oz themed.
Yes. They tout that it's scenic, and I'm doing that with air quotes because we had actually, our prior marathon to this was actually the Rome Marathon. So, uh,
We were like, scenic in Kansas.
you know, yeah, I mean, take that for what it is. Kansas, I'm sure can be very scenic. I'm sure there's
It's
very
flat.
scenic parts of Kansas. It's
It's
just that
flat.
we were coming off of Rome, and it's perspective.
Yeah.
No, it's not flat.
Oh,
We
this one
we
wasn't
ran
flat?
800 feet. No, we ran 800 feet of elevation that day,
Oh, fuck. I
and
don't even
now it's
remember
about
that.
1,100 feet.
Oh,
Yes,
oh.
yes. So they call it
Oh, is this the
scenic.
race where I was like, who the fuck put freaking hills in Kansas?
Yes, maybe,
Oh,
perhaps that is the one.
okay.
Yes.
Because this is the only race that I've ever run in Kansas, so that's probably the one.
And again, I'm going to tell you, I feel guilty about this, but I don't remember much of the course, which is probably good because the course is kind of different. There's a lot of miles and different roads. It's similar in that like you're running north. There's still a long out and back, which we did, but it's longer now. It was shorter when we did it. And then like you do still go on, I think it's like Indian Creek Trail, but we did like a long out and back and that's not there. So they've tweaked the course quite a bit since we ran it. So can't really attest too much to the course now. They do offer a full half 10K and then a cool little munchkin marathon. I guess where the kids,
Oh, the
yes,
munchkins,
leading,
it's just a babies.
it's just babies.
It's
So
just a babies.
leading leading up to the race day, the kids run 25 miles, but tick them off like the weeks ahead of time. So they're not running like a full marathon, but they run the last 1.2 miles that weekend. And it's called the Munchkin Marathon, which I think is
Oh,
cute. So it
that's
keeps kids
cute.
active and out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
But yeah,
The one thing I liked that part of the course when we did it, it was on the Santa Fe Trail. It was like the
yes,
beginning
it
of the
is
Santa
part of
Fe
it.
Trail. And so like through school and so forth, you hear about the Santa Fe Trail through American history, the American history that we learned. And but you didn't really learn many details about it. And we actually like saw like some of the spots of where the Santa Fe Trail like started. And then it was cool
Yeah.
because like fast forward I was just in Santa Fe like this past spring with like some of my Comcast girls, and it was like, oh crap, I was on the other side of this trail. Like, and that's like really, really
Yes.
far away, like back in like, the 1800s, 1700s. So,
Yeah,
but it,
when you're talking about stagecoaches, people, this is Western expansion in the 1800s where people are traveling through. And what was really cool kind of about this area is that Olathe was kind of like a launching point from the Midwest for Western expansion. So
Hmm.
not only is Olathe on the Santa Fe Trail, but the Oregon Trail and the California Trail
Yep.
all went through there and then almost, not far out of town, all divided up into northwest and south, southwest and northwest. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a lot of really cool historical significance there.
Yeah. And they had, several, I don't know if it would be like taverns or like boarding houses, kind of like an area where people would come and like depending upon what trail they were hitting, they had time to like, feed their horses, repair because they had like a lot of blacksmiths in the area. We visited one historic site where they had like all these old historic stagecoaches, and they talked about how they had blacksmiths in the area because, wagon wheels would fail or horseshoes, would fail.
Yeah.
And just like being able to go and support the people who were like, as you were talking about, like doing the westward expansion. So it would be like these, like almost like these little tiny towns or cities that were formed like along like the junctions of these trails, to help, support and facilitate, people, continuing, going west. And it is like
Yeah.
along like there is a lot of river, area around this as well. So, again, just kind of decent spot, for people to go and then be able to go on their way.
Yeah. The place that we went to in Olathe was the Mahaffie Stagecoach stop and
I
farm.
love that.
And
I
it was,
love that.
yeah, it was so cool because all the rooms were still decorated in period stuff. They had period like dresses. There were actually volunteers there that were dressed up, and they were, like you said, there were blacksmiths out there at a smith shop. They had like
They were
somebody in the kitchens,
shearing
and
sheep. Remember the
they were
big ass sheep? The poor
yes,
sheep that was getting sheared.
yes. I mean, it was just a really cool and very educational place to go, and highly recommended as a stop because it was pretty amazing.
I totally agree. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we tried to embrace like, okay, what is this like area about? Because otherwise, like if you don't get into like kind of the nooks and crannies of it, it's a lot of strip malls.
Right.
Like
Like you would just go run the race and then leave. But we're like, okay, so we're going to
like what
Olathe.
like
What does that
what is
mean?
Olathe about, and like what's the history of it and so forth. And so tried to go and find like, some really, really cool places to go and hit up. And I was happy that we did that because it gave me an appreciation for that area of the country and like kind of like what it was used as a springboard for, and how it
Yeah.
helped support, the growth of our nation.
Yes.
So which was really freaking cool. And it's and
Which
like
you,
we've
and nobody's ever heard of it.
no, like I never heard of this. I was like, wait, where are we? And I kept pronouncing it wrong, before I actually like figured out how to say it. But we flew into Kansas City, and then we
Yeah.
drove to Olathe. So it
Yeah. And
wasn't
it
that
was
long of
like
a
less than
drive.
an hour.
Less than an
No,
hour to get there. Yeah. So like right across the
easy.
border. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy
It was super
peasy.
easy. And it's a and the Olathe Garmin Olathe Marathon
Yes,
is on a Saturday. So we flew in, I think, relatively early. I think we had a stupid early flight on Friday.
we
So we
did.
got in there and had lunchtime, like went to the stagecoach stop. Neither of us can remember where the hell we stayed, so can't even help people with that at
Nope.
all.
Nope.
But
Nope. Can't help you.
we did wind up having a really cool pit stop. There's a place there called Stone Pillar Vineyard. It's not the greatest wine on the planet, but they did have like a place where you could walk in, and they had like a walk-in flight that they could give you so you could sample their wines. Um, you know, we were in Kansas drinking wine, but it was cool. It
Just
was a
leave it
nice
at
little
that.
stop.
Just leave it at
Yeah,
that, It's like,
I mean, but it was fun. It was a good way to kill a few hour or an hour or whatever we
we
did.
we
And,
didn't buy any bottles, but we enjoyed ourselves while we had the
yeah,
flights.
yeah, yeah. That
Yes.
that right there speaks volumes.
Yes.
If we didn't buy a
Because
bottle.
when Laura goes to a winery and I'm just like, oh, this shit's good. I'm just like, I want to join your wine club.
I'll take a case.
I'll take a case. I'll take a case. And can I have a straw, please?
Yeah. It was really nice to
Oh,
sample, you know.
yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Uh,
Like, and again, like we just try to go and find like these kind of little nooks and cranny things to go and do that are different, but usually like alcohol based.
good, bad, or indifferent. Not
It's okay.
always.
Not
They're
always,
not
but
always
don't
bad.
judge. Don't judge,
No,
you
we
know.
went to the stagecoach place first,
We
you
did.
know, and
We
that was
did.
fun.
We
Stone
did.
cold sober.
We did. And I do remember when we saw the one stagecoach where they had it like kind of all decked out of like how people actually would have traveled, like what gear they would have
Yeah.
had like in their stagecoach. And we were joking around because for like the longest time, like Lori is in love with these they're like um trailers called turtleback trailers, and they're overland trailers, right? And
Yeah,
so
they follow the Jeep. Wherever the Jeep will go, the
yeah,
trailer's gonna go.
the trailer will go, right? And so she's been always like, oh, I want a turtleback trailer. But then we see the stagecoaches, right? And like all like the stuff like that they had decked out with like how they cooked and you know showered and everything. And I was like, Laura, I think this is your second calling here, man.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the original turtleback trailer right here.
This is
This sucker goes
the
off-roading.
original turtleback trailer. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool going in and actually getting into like some of the buildings and you know the blacksmith stuff and just kind of seeing like and envisioning what life was like back in like the 1800s, you know. And
Yeah.
I mean our country isn't very old, but you know the poor souls that like you know went out to the westward expansion, they were brave souls because you know you and
Yeah, they were.
I many times have like driven you know down roads and we're like, dude, could you imagine being in a fucking wagon like
Yeah.
with freaking like Native Americans like freaking like going after your ass, right?
Yeah, no
like
thank
no
you.
protection and then like no water, no this, no that. Like it's just it's amazing. It's amazing that people found freaking California.
Right. I agree. It's incredible. And
Yeah,
it's just cool to learn dive deeper into that history because and to have exposure to it. So
it
expose
is.
yourself, learn a little bit. It's always important to learn when you're traveling like this.
Olathe, Kansas, folks. Olathe,
Yeah.
Kansas.
Mark it down.
Mark it down.
So we
So,
did
yeah.
do one weird thing on this trip. We departed from our normal pizza before a marathon. We did not have pizza before this marathon, so I cannot attest to Olathe Pizza at all because we went to the Silo Modern Farmhouse, and I feel like this was like on a golf course or something.
Yeah,
We kind of stumbled across it, and it wound up being a really like you needed reservations to go in there, and we wound up sitting at the bar. But we
I
had a
remember
lovely
that.
pre-race meal.
Oh, it was bougie inside too. And we were like, how is this like you know, and this is like one of those things where like you don't think that there is bouge like everywhere. There's bouge everywhere. Like if you
Everywhere.
want bouge, you can find it. And this was like super bougie inside. And we were like, what did we just stumble into? And I think I had a chicken dinner and like I just remember my dinner being like absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, I had
We
like a
just
pork shoulder that was delicious.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We just, yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely deviated that night. And I can't remember why we deviated, you know, from like
I
looking for
don't either.
pizza. But yeah,
It
like
happened.
I just remember certain things about the Garmin Olathe race. And I think that that has like kind of like, I don't know, erase some of my memories from the rest of like the race in terms of like, oh, like, you know, where did you stay? Like in your hotel or where did you eat? Because normally like we're pretty locked in terms of like information on that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So, so,
I would
so
say
yeah,
everything around the race that we did that weekend is stuck in my memory and very cool. Like I actually was surprised at how much I enjoyed that weekend, with
I
the
agree.
exception of race day.
Yeah.
Race day
So,
was just kind of a clusterfuck and not fun.
yeah, so let's beat it out like here. Let's beat it out. That's what
You've
she
got
said.
something on your mind that involves hands.
What? Um,
I don't
yeah.
know.
So let's beat it to the let's beat it to let's beat what how do you say that? Let's beat it to the chase. Let's beat the
Let's cut
chase.
it. Cut it
Let's
to
cut it.
the
Let's cut.
But if you want to beat it to the chase, don't let me stop you.
I want to beat it to the chase, damn it. See, this is why I don't do these like phrases. All right, let's cut to the chase. Why are we a little like kind of like want sour about the Garmin Olathe Marathon of 2022?
Well, because little old us fly all the way the fuck out to Kansas.
All
Start
the
and
way
we
out to
drive
Kansas City. We drive an
all the way
hour,
out.
and it was
Yep. And we
expensive.
get
It
a
wasn't
hotel
cheap.
room. No, you get your hotel room, you're doing your
Hmm.
things, you're
You
seeing
go,
the
girl.
site.
Preach.
Yep. And you start running and you're running and you get to mile one
You're
and
like,
your watch says like
you're
point
like
point
You're
eight.
like
And you're
Lori,
like, well,
Lori.
that's weird.
I'm off. I'm off. I'm point eight. I'm point eight. It's
Yeah,
off. It's off.
that's
Okay.
that's
All
weird.
right. All right. We'll
But
make it
but
up. We'll
it's
make it up. We'll make it up.
yeah, it's
Okay.
early. It's early. No big deal. I'm
Not a
sure it's
problem.
just mismarked.
Not a problem.
Mile
Not a problem.
five. Mile
Oh
five,
fuck. Oh
4.75.
fuck. We're off by a half a mile.
Yeah. Mile 13.
Oh shit. We're off by a half a mile still.
Mile 18.
Oh, we're off by a mile.
Yeah. Mile
Yeah.
22.
Yes.
We're
Accurate.
still
Same thing.
off.
Same thing.
So at this point, Laura and I are going, well, here's the thing. Let's go ahead and add what we need to add to make it accurate. Because when I cross that finish line, I want to know I ran 26.2 miles. I don't care what the mile markers say.
So we actually around mile 22, we there was a neighborhood that we ran through and we are like, "Oh, like we're running down this road and they want us to hang left, but there's like we can do an out and back, like where there was like a dead end." And we actually ran out to the dead end and back and then like ran up the course so that we can go and get in that the extra miles.
Yeah. So we started adding. And when we
Yes.
crossed the finish line, we had 26.2 plus miles under our belt when we
Yeah,
crossed the finish
I think we're
line.
like we're a little over 27 miles on our by
Yeah.
watch count.
Um, Later on, about 2 days later, when we are on all of the Facebook pages for 50 states and Marathon Maniacs and the groups that we belong to, somebody was like, "Oh my God, the course was short." And there's a part of me that's like, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, why do we have to draw attention to the fact that the course is short? I ran 26.2 miles. You ran 26.2 miles. Why are we drawing attention to this?
Yep. And
And
then
how
and
did
then
how did our 50 states club handle that?
and well what ended up happening is that the race director of the Garmin Olathe
Garmin.
Marathon, Garmin, went and put out an apology note, to the runners that acknowledged the fact that the race was short, indeed short, and that they sincerely apologize, yada yada yada. Well, for the 50 state marathon club, in order to get an official certification, and for those who can't see me on video, I'm using my air quotes, their certification, the course has to be a 26.2 mile course, which, like, all right, Lori and I totally agree with, right? You have to run 26.2 miles. We know by our watches that we ran over 27 miles, like as a result of like us realizing that like this course was going to be short. But when we sent in I even like took a picture. If you remember, I took a picture of like my
Oh
watch,
yeah.
Lori, and stuff,
And I took a
and
screenshot of my Strava that
your
shows that I
Strava.
ran. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
on
but
there.
because the official course, they acknowledged that their course was not 26.2 miles. The 50 State Marathon Club said, well, we can acknowledge that you finished the race, but you can't get the official certification for the 50 state, marathon completion. Now, we still, when Lori and I finished in 2023, we still got a plaque that said we completed a marathon in each of the 50 states, but it didn't have this official certification from the club because of this fucking Garmin Olathe Marathon. And Lori and I looked at each other when we found out, like, okay, this was not gonna be counted, and we're like, we're not
I'm not
running
going
this
back.
again. We're not running this race
No,
again. We're not going back to
no.
Kansas. Like, and people were on Facebook were like, oh my God, I have to run Kansas again because I have to get this certification. We're like, fuck you. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No.
In our minds, like we know we ran a full
Yep.
marathon in this race. So, but the ironic thing is that, like, and I think like you and I, like where it got really fucked up on the course. I keep dropping F-bombs tonight, where it got really fucked up on the course. We kind of knew that like this didn't feel right. Like in this one
Yeah.
spot, it was like this weird, like out and back thing. And we were like, this doesn't feel right, because that's like where we lost like a lot of our mileage, between mile markers. And we're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was that little out and backy thing that like
Yeah. They
somebody
did.
did.
They
So
placed it. It was too close. They needed to
yeah.
move out further the
Yeah.
turnaround, and it
Yeah.
was
Somebody
just
didn't have the right
smart.
turnaround point. So that's why, like, when we talk about this race, we were a little salty about it. Now, because it had like a theme that was Land of Oz, I had gotten Lori and I these really cool, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, had a gingham plaid, like blue and white dress. And so I got us like these tank tops that were blue and white plaid, which I was like, ah, like pay a little homage, to
Yeah.
Dorothy. And then all of the markers along the course, were like the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz. Now, here's an interesting fact for folks. Back when The Wizard of Oz was being created, the inspiration for the costumes for not only the flying monkeys, but like the green men, like the soldiers and like their long gray
Yes.
coats and stuff, all of
Yep.
their costumes were inspired from West Point, so the United States Military Academy.
I did not
So,
know this.
yes, so the next time you see the flying monkeys or the men in the gray coats, I actually have one of those gray coats, Lori, that the green soldiers wear. That's my long overcoat from West Point.
Is that the
And
one that's on your little model in your
no,
living room?
that's our full dress uniform. Like that's what we would use for parades. And that was what was used to inspire the costumes for the flying monkeys. Now, when we have like this rivalry between West Point, or Army and Navy, Annapolis and West Point, the folks from Annapolis will call us whoops. And the reason why they call West Pointers whoops is because in The Wizard of Oz, when the flying monkeys are flying around, they go whoop, 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 whoop.
Right.
That's where they get the nickname for us whoops. We call them squids. They call us whoops, and that is why.
That's
So,
funny. I love
so
that.
hopefully I have now changed the way like any of you that are listening will go and watch The Wizard of Oz going forward.
Yes, you have. You've
Now,
enlightened me.
Now, the end of this race, we kind of had like a little bit of like a Wizard of Oz-ish kind of like sensation with like the weather,
If
didn't
you
we?
remember, it was not the end of that race. From the get-go, from that morning,
It was very windy
we
yeah.
there was a high wind warning for that day with sustained winds between 20 and 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 50.
Yes. And
And
I
that
swear
was all.
we felt like gusts up to 60 miles an hour towards.
There was like literally like we were bent over trying to protect our eyes from the shit flying in the air. It was so windy and so bad. It
It
was
was so
terrible.
windy. It was so windy. Like that, like I think out of all the races that we've done together, that was the windiest race.
Oh, 100%. And you actually have a video of like a tree blowing in the wind and then you're like
It's like fucking
this has been
sideways.
all day. All day. All
Oh,
day.
I
This is
think I
what
said
we've been doing.
all fucking day.
Fucking day. And I look miserable. You pan over to me and all you see is me make a face like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a rough race. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So
yeah.
go ahead.
No,
You
the
go.
course limit, it was a 6.5 hour course limit. We finished in 6:18. So, again, it was a rough race, right? It was, but then we stopped and took a lot of pictures. Like I looked back on like, how many pictures we took and stuff, and we're like, oh, it's the Santa Fe Trail thing. Oh, let's take a picture here. Oh, it's the river. Let's take a picture here. So we actually did take a
But I
bunch of
think
pictures.
But I think we try and see the good in everything we're doing, right?
We do.
Like we're like,
Well,
oh,
we
there's
do.
something
You
there.
have to. You have to. You're like, look, it's a
Right.
bridge. Oh, I'm going to take a picture of the bridge. Like, even if that was like the
Yeah,
highlight of the race, like that's what we take a picture of. Because like
exactly.
you need that for inspiration,
To keep moving. Now, the race directors or the race management system, like they tout that they have the Emerald City Finish Line Festival at the end of the race. As a back of the packer, I have zero memory of anything happening at the end of that race. Nothing.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. I don't think that there's a whole lot for you amenities wise. Like if there was a party, we clearly were too late for the ball. You know.
Or they closed the gates to the Emerald City and we were sitting out in the poppies, just
Yes.
marinated
Yeah.
in it.
We were not welcome inside the city limits of Emerald
No,
City.
no, no.
So take that with a grain of salt if you're a back of the packer. But we did find a really cool place to go afterwards. We went to Red Crow Brewing Company. I'm so sorry. I drag my poor glutard friend to all the breweries.
But you know what's really
And we wound
funny is that this Red Crow brewery that we went to after the race. So like I do a lot of like Google reviews. This Google review that I did of this brewery has the most like views of all of my Google reviews. Like
really.
it's got over a million. I think it's got over a million views on my because of the pictures that I took.
Right. Good
So
for
I'm
you,
like, well,
man.
that's kind of cool. Yeah. And I was like,
That
I'm
is
not even
cool.
the beer drinker. So I think did I have like some shitty wine or did I have like a cider?
I have no
I
idea
can't
what you
remember.
had.
I did have
I
something to
know
drink, but
I know I had a flight. I know because I read my review. This is where all my reviewing started. Kansas City or
yes, yes.
like Olathe, Kansas was where
Yeah.
I started reviewing the hell out of things on Google and on Yelp. So I know I'm like they had a sour I tried. I'm not normally a sour girl. I loved the sour they had. They had a hazy IPA that I thought was delicious. So I think it was good. They didn't have food. They have food trucks. And I think you and I got like pulled pork nachos or something that were really good. I don't know what else they would have now, but yeah, I think it was a pretty decent stop
I
for that
agree.
evening. But yeah, but then the next morning we kind of got up and started heading out. I think we both had later flights because we really did like a whole tour thing that day. That was kind of fun. We started at Snooze AM, which I think was the first time we ate there. That
Yeah.
place, which I've gone back to the one in Kansas City, and then I've also eaten at another one somewhere else in the Midwest has one now. Fantastic. I love that breakfast place. It's so good.
Yeah, no, it was a really, really good breakfast place. And then I mean, we felt like we had enough time to go to Independence, Missouri, which I thought was
Now,
kind of
why on
cool.
earth would you go to Independence, Missouri?
Because that is where Harry Truman's homestead is located. And so we go to this town. It's a cute town. Like it's a cute little
It
town.
is.
Like it's a very, very tiny town.
Although I don't think there
But
was much open in the way of food, though, just
there
as a
was
side
not.
note,
There was
on a
not when
Sunday.
we went on a Sunday. So we were like, oh, everybody's at church. But we did get into Harry Truman's home as well as his childhood home, which was surprisingly right across the street.
Yeah.
So we got to go into both locations, and it was humbling because I'm not going to get too political, but like kind of like where I'm going to get a little political, but not political. Like it was humbling to go and see how Harry Truman and his wife lived. And they preserved the house exactly how they like lived, like, you know, in their later years in life. And it looks like an ordinary home. And I mean, it looks like a nice home, but it looks like an ordinary home. And versus, you know, some of the opulence that, you know, is like more of the focus of like current administrations. And it was more of just like focusing on, you know, the people and, you know, like living a simple and humble and servant leader life. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. And man, we got into that house. Like they did not have like things cordoned off and so forth. I mean, you could go right into the home and like be in it, right?
Yeah. And I think the thing that was most interesting about it is that it was like a tale of two cities within the home. So, like when you walked into the front part of the home, which is where he could receive guests or dignitaries or people
Yes.
could come visit, it was extremely stately. Humble, it wasn't huge, but it was
Humble,
very
but
stately.
yes, yes, but formal.
But formal, very formal. But the minute you crossed over the barrier to
You
the
got in the
place where they
kitchen?
spent their time,
You got in the
like
kitchen?
the kitchen needed work. I was like, wow, this is not even like this is worn. Like the
Like it was
linoleum
cool.
floor was
Yeah, the linoleum floor, like where they would like the main traffic area, or like light switches, like where they would constantly like be hitting the light switch and you could see like it was just like totally worn and you're like, oh dude, like okay, you know?
like they
Um,
lived in that house. And I just thought it was so cool,
yeah.
just just how humble they were. And yeah, I had a whole lot of respect for Truman. And I mean, really, when you think about his presidency, he was 1945 to 1953. So, like, what a hard time to lead our country right out of World War II, or coming out of
Agreed.
World War II. And he just, I don't know. I wound up leaving there. Like, I was reading his placards about the things that he accomplished, the things that he stood for. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I miss having men in office that I can respect, or even women. Like, please let a woman go into office too. Like,
Yeah.
just somebody that I just want values that represent me as an average person in America, just an average person in the middle. Anyway, I went political. I'm so sorry, people. We don't normally do that. I apologize.
No, no, you know, it's well, you know, sometimes you can't help it, Laura. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like it's in your face. And but I do think that when you and I went through Truman's home, his childhood home, like you know, it was humbling, right? In terms of like, hey,
Yes.
this is like not only where a president like actively lived, but actively lived like post his presidency. And
Yeah.
you know, and you know, just simpler times, simpler people, you know, and you know, we miss a little bit of that. So but yeah, but I totally recommend that to folks, like if you're ever in that area, definitely
Independence, Missouri.
Independence, Missouri. Do not go there on a Sunday. Don't go there on a Sunday, because if you're looking for a place to eat, you will not find anything open. Like there is
No,
nothing open. Nothing is
nothing.
open on Sunday. Like
No.
nothing. No,
Nothing.
nada,
But
no go.
we did stumble across another cool place in Independence to go to, the Bingham Wagner Estate. Now, I remember this in my head as that it was, all that it had been abandoned for like decades, like that it was just
Yeah.
left and that somebody stumbled across it, found it, and it was fully furnished in exactly the way it was in like the late 1800s and blah blah blah. But when I was reading online today doing my research, there was like the Bingham who lived in it in the original, like I think it was built in like 1852. And then there was the Wagners that lived in it for like three generations of Wagners lived in it. And it was last lived in 1976. And then they started to figure out a way to preserve it. And I'm like, that does not how I remember it, but maybe I wasn't listening appropriately. I don't know. So I'm not really sure
Yeah,
about
because they had a bunch of
the,
volunteers. They had a bunch of volunteers that were working in the like in the house and stuff too.
yes,
Yeah.
but this was
So
such a cool house. It really was.
it's
It was, it was so immaculately preserved
yeah,
with like
yeah.
all the furniture. Like, I think the coolest thing to me that I remember was that they had a chandelier that was both power and gas. And I'm like,
Oh,
how
in the
is that
dining room,
even
in the
safe?
dining room. Oh my
Yes.
God. And the opulence of the dining room. Like I think that the dining room table probably could have fit at least 30 people. Like it was
Yeah, it
just
was so
it was
beautiful.
gigantic. Yeah, like it was neat. I mean it definitely like, volunteer, managed, these days, and they look for donations to go and like do the upkeep of the estate and so forth. But yeah, that was a really, really cool find. And I can't remember
Yeah.
like why we like stumbled across that like as well. But yeah, like you're like I would never have pictured like a place like this, like in Kansas, right? Or Missouri.
Yeah.
Can't remember if it was in Missouri or Kansas.
It was in Independence, so I think it
In
was Missouri.
Independence. Okay. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah. Now the medals, it like the medals said Oz on them. I don't have I didn't pull my medal off of my rack. But it said Oz and it had like, I don't know, like a witch kind of like flying through it. Um, so they were smaller,
It was just,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, it
you
was a
know.
decent medal. It's something I would kick out. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst medal.
Yeah, yeah. And then the shirts were short sleeve green shirts again with like the witch and like Land of Oz, kind of running through it.
I
Yeah,
never wear it.
again. Yeah. I wear it every once in a while. I do. It's more of like it's not a cotton shirt, but it's like one of those like cotton performance shirts.
Yeah.
So I do wear that every once in a while, but so yeah, so I mean there are some runner accounts that this race has been like mismarked in the past, although the only like official, account of it has been the one that we did in 2022.
So
But
glad we got to experience that one. Thanks so much, Garmin
so
Olathe
memorable,
Marathon.
so memorable, so memorable.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, yes. So I think when as we're embarking, Lori, on, like as we're in the midst of our journey doing other states, I don't think that the Olathe, Kansas Marathon is in our future at all to do it again.
Unless they're willing to send me out all expenses paid with the free bib entry, I'm not sure it is either. But
Oh.
I
Well,
don't.
that's throwing down the gauntlet. There you go, Maggie. Maggie, there you go. Get us,
I
get
mean,
us, get it, get us two
I
free
feel like
bibs.
that's the only way to make it right. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Get us two free bibs and some plane fare and a hotel fare, and then we'll find a good pizza place.
Yeah. And then we'll give you
Just make sure
an
that shit's
updated account.
26.2 miles, bitches.
But again, if I'm not spending money on it, you know what? You do you, boo.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that was just fucked up. So, all right. So,
Yeah.
I guess that answers whether we would run this one again.
Yeah, right
if you
now I cannot recommend, nor would I, really
ditto,
want to redo. So
ditto,
there you go.
ditto. Yeah, I don't even know what other races we've looked at in Kansas. So it'll be interesting because there are some
I
obscure
could tell
places
you,
in
I'll tell you
Kansas.
offline.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll tell you
there we go.
offline whatever
There we go.
we looked at.
There we go. All right. Well, next week we're going to go back and get into interview mode. So we came across this gal. Her name is Jen Doan. She's a
Badass.
fucking badass, man. So
Incredible.
Maggie sends us this link, this Instagram link, and she's like, "Oh my God, this woman has done not one, but two Ironman races in 2 days."
Yeah, that's
And we're
insane.
like, what the hell? Like, and because like we know what it's like to go and do two marathons in 2 days, two Ironmans in 2 days. Can't even fathom it. So we want to talk to
Nope.
her. We want to get behind the thought process here and get a little perspective. And maybe learn about like Jen's like mile 20 moment, and see like, if she had maybe one of those, in either of those two races that she had recently. So, but she's going to be in Copenhagen when we talk to her. So that'll be pretty cool. And she is the host of a fellow podcast, and it's called The Toughest Finish Line. So we're really, really looking forward to talking to Jen next week.
I'm
For those of
excited.
you, I know, same here, same here. Like totally talking about a badass man. I can't even imagine
I
two
can't imagine
Ironmans in
either.
2 days. Like I just
I
can't even
just wouldn't want
imagine.
that much time. I wouldn't want that time with the seat bike up my hoo-ha. If I'm
Right?
just being real. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just want to, like, how bad
Like
was the
that's some
chase, Jen?
seriously,
Like,
that's
be
like some
real.
seriously hoo-ha cream, man.
Serious. What are you using? I don't know.
It's like calloused. It's calloused. Oh, like just even how do you train for that? Like how do you like both mentally and physically? Yeah. So we have a ton of questions for Jen,
Absolutely.
and we're looking forward to that. But for folks that are listening today, we are on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and you can listen to us in any streaming service that you have. And please, in terms of, Instagram, send us your comments, things that you want to hear more about. Lori, Maggie, and I have been talking about, some future content and, things that we want to go and dive back into, in terms of like, for beginner runners or, people who are back of the pack. And, how do you just go and change that mental mindset, in terms of having a good time, during a race. Because Lori and I right now are preparing for the Berlin Marathon, which is at the end of September. So we
Yeah.
have a little bit of a race lull, in between now and then. And so we have to
We're
both
gonna
keep.
have to do a long training run.
I know. We have to keep our motivation levels up. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I get a 2022 miler somewhere in between there. So I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Like I'm
Yeah.
as long as you and I coordinate, like being able to do it together. Because good luck, good Lord, girl, like trying to do like my mileage, my 12 miler down in Maryland, that sucked. It was just like a lot of out and backs. It was a
Yeah.
lot of out and backs, just the way that my road system is and stuff. So yeah, anyway. We are so thankful for all the comments, the love, and so forth. Thanks for listening to us bitch about the Garmin Olathe Marathon in 2022. And we want to make sure that this week you go make mile 20 your bitch.
Peace out.